Good, happy Tuesday morning, September 8th, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday morning, so let's begin. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all had a wonderful Labor Day holiday and a wonderful weekend, everyone. Good to be back here on air to bring you the news. Let's begin now. First up, let's take a look at your COVID-19 updates. 33 new COVID-19 cases reported, no new deaths and hospitalizations. Now let's take a look at the coronavirus in New Hampshire updated data and information. Let's take a look at that latest information. And here's a look at that latest information for all of you. There are 7,476 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 6,298,235 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 433 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 718 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 140 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And let's take a look at this current map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. In Manchester, 43 current cases of COVID-19. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. In Manchester, 1951. And now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here, new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations. And in the red are the deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple, total current COVID-19 cases, and in the orange, current hospitalizations. Let's take a look at this chart here, total cases. In the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalizations. In the red, deaths, and the blue recovered. Let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. And let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, difficult breathing, chills, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. High turnout expected among absentee in-person voting. Granite State voters still have time to return absentee ballots. You have until 5 p.m. today to return them in. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Cherise Leclerc.
These East Edges of Laconia is having a huge anniversary sale. Save hundreds and get huge discounts on wood, pellet, and gas products, jacuzzi spas, grills, sheds, gazebos, and playsets. It's anniversary sale savings at East Edges in Laconia.
Over 100,000 voters in New Hampshire have requested an absentee ballot.
That is 8 times more than the state has ever seen in more than 100 years of the September primary. Secretary of State Bill Gardner says more than 75,000 absentee ballots have been returned. Several more thousand are expected to be added to that after a 2-hour window in which people could drop off absentee ballots at city and town clerk's offices today.
We had a very busy 2 hours. It was very steady.
Terry Briand is Litchfield's town clerk and tax collector. She says preparing for this primary has been like any other.
In 2016, we had 34 absentee ballots. We have over 400 absentee ballots this year for this election.
Communities, including Litchfield, are processing those every day along with their normal duties. The state is seeing these absentee ballots as they gave people the option to avoid in-person voting due to concerns over COVID-19. Normally, under state law, you can't turn in an absentee ballot on Election Day. But under the pandemic voting changes made by the legislature this year, you can turn in that absentee ballot tomorrow. In Litchfield, turn it in at the polling place. But other communities will differ. Contact your town or city clerk for that information. Terry expects a good turnout for in-person voting as well and says poll workers have been preparing.
We have to social distance. We're trying to, when they come in, as soon as they enter the door, they will check in, they will hand sanitize. We have masks there for them.
People who go into the high school to vote will be asked to wear a mask. Anyone who can't or won't will use this trailer next to the school. And Gardner says the election results will be in tomorrow night. In Manchester, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Democrats running in New Hampshire governor in hard-fought contest. Incumbent governor faces challenges from right. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
East Edges of Laconia is having a huge anniversary sale. Save hundreds and get huge discounts on wood, pellet, and gas products, jacuzzi spas, grills, sheds, gazebos, and playsets. It's anniversary sale savings at East Edges in Laconia.
In this pandemic election year, Dan Feltus and Andrew Volinsky are fighting battles on 3 fronts. The 2 Concord progressives are facing off in the Democratic primary for the governor's race. They're also eager for any opportunity to take on the incumbent, Governor Chris Sununu. And they're fighting for the eyes and ears of voters whose attentions have been understandably drawn away by concerns over COVID-19.
The extra work, the differences pale in comparison to the folks who are worried about food and worried about being evicted.
It's absolutely different, but we have to lift up the voices of people on the ground. Those workers on the front lines, they're keeping our state and our country afloat.
Feltus, the state's youngest ever Senate Majority Leader and the establishment favorite in this contest, began this campaign summer trying to dodge the more pugnacious Volinsky's attacks, but the last few weeks have featured more direct engagement.
I am not on both sides of every issue. Dan tends to be.
The now abandoned proposal for the Granite Bridge natural gas pipeline continues to be a flashpoint. Volinsky opposed the project. Feltus supported it. But the senator says his record on clean energy is clear.
I've led the way in energy efficiency, on solar, on net metering. Been the champion there.
Volinsky made a name for himself in New Hampshire, litigating the Claremont lawsuit in the 1990s to reform education funding. As an executive counselor, he's been a leading figure in blocking several of Governor Sununu's nominations, even when it draws political blowback.
I do admit that in some ways I take the Popeye approach to politics. I am who I am.
Feltus, too, has clashed with Sununu on issues like paid family and medical leave. He also highlights bills passed and bipartisan accomplishments.
It's one thing to talk about the issues, it's another thing to actually have done it.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Bullock and Mesner vie for Republican nomination to take on Shaheen. Trump endorsed Mesner self-funds campaign while Bullock pitches himself as New Hampshire native son. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
East Edges of Laconia is having a huge anniversary sale. Save hundreds and get huge discounts on wood, pellet, and gas products, jacuzzi spas, grills, sheds, gazebos, and playsets. It's anniversary sale savings at East Edges in Laconia.
When Don Bolduc, retired Army general and decorated veteran of the war in Afghanistan, launched his bid for U.S. Senate back in June 2019, he swore off negative campaigning.
I will not go down that road. Others will attack me. They'll spend millions trying to figure out every which way they can come at me. Fine, because that means their back's up against the wall.
But now it would appear it's Bolduc who's facing long odds. President Donald Trump has endorsed his opponent, Corky Mesner, and the general has had to change strategies.
I'm New Hampshire, through and through. He's not. He has no roots here. He is one single person who lives on a multi-million-dollar property with a gate.
Mesner, an Army veteran and head of a big Colorado-based law firm, has sidestepped nearly every attempt to make this primary into a fight.
I'm going to help President Trump clean out the swamp. And Gene Shaheen hides in the fog of Washington, D.C.
Mesner is self-funding his campaign, giving him a leg up in a cycle in which national Republicans are focusing resources on defending their Senate majority in other states. But he's still enduring front-runner scrutiny. Back in Colorado, he's facing a fraud complaint regarding a charitable foundation he established for student scholarships that only gave out scholarships to a single student over a 10-year period.
Just like they've done to President Trump, total political hit job. And it is sad that they're doing that. They are wrong, quite frankly, in their allegations.
While it's an open issue, this primary is going to be decided by conservative voters looking for a leader.
I'm a leader that empowers the people around him, a leader that listens.
It's my leadership experience in the Army, my leadership experience in the private sector.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Raymond School District moving grades 4 through 5th to remote learning. Staff member possibly exposed. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
A huge anniversary sale. Save hundreds and get huge discounts on wood, pellet, and gas products, jacuzzi spas, grills, sheds, gazebos, and playsets. It's anniversary sale savings at East Edges in Laconia.
Well, some students in the Raymond School District are being asked to begin the school year remotely after 6 staff members may have been exposed to COVID-19 outside of work. The superintendent says the Ivor Holmes Grove middle school students in the 4th and 5th grades assigned to Group B should stay at home. The staff members have no symptoms and are being tested. The district is asking families who need a Chromebook for remote learning to call the technology support hotline first thing in the morning.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. NASDAQ features plunge 2% following tech's worst rout since March. NASDAQ futures were set to fall sharply early Tuesday after technology shares suffered their worst sell-off in more than 5 months. More than 24 wildfires burning in California. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for being with us on this Labor Day holiday. I'm Tom Yamas, in for David tonight. And we begin with the state of emergency in California. More than 24 wildfires burning, fueled by record-breaking heat and already taking a record toll. More than 2 million acres burned, with the most dangerous part of the season still on the way. The Creek Fire, racing through the hills near Fresno, forcing new evacuations tonight, trapping campers at a popular national forest over the weekend. Some driving through the flames to escape, others surrounded, hugging the water for safety. National Guard helicopters, look at that, rescuing more than 200 people in a daring nighttime operation. While near San Bernardino, homeowners battled flames at the edge of their property. You can see it there with garden hoses and water from the swimming pool. And near San Diego, the Valley Fire already destroying nearly a dozen homes and outer buildings. And tonight, fierce winds are now fueling those flames. ABC's Zareen Shaw leads us off from the fire lines.
Tonight, new evacuations for residents near the Creek Fire, burning out of control in California's Sierra National Forest. More than 900 firefighters battling rugged terrain, heavy fuel, and high temperatures. This after daring nighttime rescues over the weekend. More than 200 people trapped by flames northeast of Fresno.
There's fire on all sides, all around us, all the roads are burned.
Jeremy Remington among those at the Mammoth Pool Reservoir where the fire came out of nowhere.
A bunch of us are stranded here, and supposedly we have no cell phone reception.
This is hell if I don't know what else.
The Meek family trying to escape in their vehicle, forced to take shelter in the water as the flames moved closer.
Your family's all jumping in the water to get away from the flames? Yeah, there was really no warning. The fire just moved so fast, so there was only so much we could do.
Get rescued right now!
The California National Guard using a Black Hawk and Chinook helicopter to transport everyone to safety. A middle-of-the-night rescue operation in the heart of the fire zone.
Some of them were in critical condition with burns or broken bones. To get aircraft to fly at night into the mountains is really something else.
The smoky haze from the fire even invading Yosemite National Park. Across California, more than 24 major fires now scorching the state. In San Bernardino County at the El Dorado fire, families using garden hoses to help firefighters battle the flames. Officials say this out-of-control fire was sparked by a pyrotechnic smoke device someone set up as part of a gender reveal photo op.
All right, Zareen Shaw joins us now live. And Zareen, I want to pick up where you just left off there. That family that did the gender reveal, they could face charges?
Tom, it is up to the DA. Officials say the family involved is cooperating. Meanwhile, the hot and dry conditions out here continue. It is going to be another rough night for firefighters tonight and tomorrow. Tom?
Zareen Shaw, who's been following these fires all through the holiday weekend for us. Zareen, thank you. Let's get right to ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano. Rob, how long do we expect the extreme fire danger to go on?
Well, the heat that we saw again today is going to be replaced by wind. So a couple of more days of dangerous conditions. Take a look at this map. The red flag warnings that are now posted for 35 million Americans. Those excessive heat warnings, they should be dropped. But now we have high wind warnings across the Northwest and winter storm warnings with the next batch of major cold that's going to come down. That's going to shift the pattern. That's going to crank the winds across Portland, down through Redding, Sacramento tomorrow, and then jumping through Burbank and to San Diego tomorrow night with winds gusting over 60 miles per hour and dangerous low levels of humidity. And that cold air also going to drop Denver from triple-digit temperatures to 3 to 7 inches of snow tomorrow, likely to be the earliest snowfall they've seen, Tom, in 10 years.
So much extreme weather out west. All right, Rob, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for watching this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another broadcast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.